Hey everyone, it's Justine, the Twilight Stamper, and today I'm bringing you a card tutorial that I created for the AAA Card Challenge first anniversary blog hop, and I have the link right above in the corner if you want to be taken to check it out. We have prizes this week going on from myself, Simon Says Stamp, Lawn Fawn, Digi-Stamp Boutique, Visible Image, Clearly Besotted, Unico Studio, and we are celebrating with a blog hop for you where you have a ton of opportunities to win prizes. Alright, we're going to get started by die cutting this tag. This is for my favorite things, and it's the stitch tag die. This has become one of my definitely favorite dies overall because it's just so useful and I use them on so many of my cards. Next up, I'm going to create a stitched border pattern onto the card, and I'm going to emboss this instead of die cut this to create that stitched outline along the border of my card base so that it matches my tag. Now, as you can see, I'm using one of those rubber mats there, and it took me a couple of tries to get the actual process figured out as to how to get the impression and the right thickness so that it gave enough of a stitching pattern. But I did figure it out in the end, and it gave me a nice pressed pattern, as you can see in the cardstock there, and I take off the washi tape. Now I added a couple of layers to my card. Now I didn't want to create too many layers, but I wanted to create a look that was clean and simple and yet had a few pieces of cardstock on it. So I grabbed some very neutral patterns here, and I got, this is authentic paper, and I have all the links for everything I use in this on my blog and in the description below, so don't worry about that. And I used a feather vellum sheet from Close to My Heart. I turned it upside down so that it would be even more subtle as far as the feathers are concerned, and I just glued that bottom corner because that's the part that's going to be covered up by my tag. So I wanted to tie the colors in the stamped image to those of the patterned paper that I used on the back of the cardstock. So I'm using Smoke, Fog, and Sunshine ink from Simon Says Stamp. I'm using a birthday stamp from Close to My Heart, and I'm going to be building my own tiered cake. So starting off, I stamped the tray in Smoke ink, then I went in with Sunshine ink and stamped the first layer of the cake, and just continued to add layer upon layer as I went along. As you notice, there is no sentiment on this card because I think the stamped image kind of says it all, and not adding a sentiment isn't all that bad sometimes. Sometimes it just kind of adds something to the card. So there, I followed in with the Fog ink, which is a little bit lighter than the Smoke ink, and then I went in again with the yellow. And the last thing I had to do was put the cake topper on top, and I wanted to put the candle, but the candle was really long from the stamp set, so I decided to just add this sort of floral decoration to the top that I thought looked really elegant and pretty. Next up, I added some 3D foam tape. As you can see, that was my first attempt at making the cake. I removed the backings off of it and then attached it to my card onto the bottom right hand corner. I folded over my card, which ended up being a little bit difficult after I had done that stitched embossing because it wanted to fold onto the stitched embossing instead of the score line that I created before. So it did take me a little while to fiddle with it before I got it right. So I just went in with my boning folder and tried and reinforce the fold that I had originally created. And then it turned out just fine. So that's the end of today's card tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this card tutorial and that you'll subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Be sure to check out the blog hop. It is absolutely amazing and you can win a lot of fun prizes. Thanks so much for watching.